who normally are very quiet turn into talking like a sailor. Seriously, that is the worst thing. The lower loop was the break in the middle of sewing. I won't say it. So, what would I do? I take the fabric out and I rethread everything. Not with this. All I need to do is take the thread, make sure I pull out enough. Put this threading. Lock it in. And the new one, you don't even think it's a thread in the hole. It basically vacuums it in. I know. The thread is right there. I'm not even going to tuck it under or over. I'm just going to start sewing. Now, that's not special for those who have the Evolve other than that electronic threading. But if you have that closet serger, that's probably one of the reasons why it's still in the closet. Okay? Look how easy that is. Now, threading is, pardon the pun, a breeze. Okay? Because truly, there's no effort. Okay? Now, the other benefit of this serger is that there is no tension whatsoever. Okay? I'm going to prove that by just going to a rolled edge, just by turning the dial. Nothing else. If I want a narrow rolled edge, it's letter C. And all I do is do that, and it's perfect. Every single time. If I want to do a wrap rolled edge, letter D. It has, and by the counter there, we actually have one set up where we have these little instructional guide that gives you a recipe, exactly what to follow, and it works perfect every single time. But the hardest thing would be, pass this around here. What if I change the thread? Has anybody ever used woolly nylon on a regular serger? I mean, the end result's pretty, but you're having to loosen the tension because that thread is pulling through. Not with this. Or let's say I was going to use a thick thread. This is a 12 weight. We call it jean stitch, like a pro crown or pro pocket. I'm going to take this here and thread this in the upper loop. I was demonstrating sergers at the Orange County Fair in 1982. I had the same model set up 3 different ways, and if you asked me to show you how to thread it, I would try to avoid that question. But I would end up tying the thread on and pulling it through. You know, you've learned to do things, but what happened when the knot broke? So with this right here, threading's not a problem. So you're not afraid of changing the threads or using threads. Now, for those who have the Evolve, there are a lot of enhancements on this model, so you might want to consider upgrading. We can look it up. So now, notice that thread's hanging out here. I'm not worried about it tangling. Would you do that on your non-baby lock serger? If you did, let me give you a repair coupon. A nice, thick, rolled edge with thick thread, no adjustment. Now, this is only with 3 threads. I can do this easy with up to 8 threads. And the question is, why would I use 8 threads? Does anybody know why? Because I can. See, does anybody have a serger other than the Baby Lock Evolve that has a cover hem feature on it? A cover hem. You know what the cover hem is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. See, if this was brand X, I would have it set up for overlock, but when I turn it to a cover hem, I have to change where the threads are, change the plate. I'm actually changing it to another product. This has the serger and the cover lock hooked together. You can use them at the same time. You can use them independent. That's why it's 8 threads. It's actually simpler because I'm not having to change the thread. But when I use them together, something magical happens. I'm going to show a ruffle, 8 threads that you can see on the product. This was really popular at the Square Dance Convention in Long Beach last year. Want to see a place where there's more ruffles and candy? But the thing is that they still make most of them make their costumes. And ruffles are not easy to make. But it doesn't have to be that. It can be pillows, dust ruffles. I've ruffled on things like burlap, where it's a heavier fabric. And it's amazing, it even works when the thread's not even threaded. Okay, so look how nice it is. And I didn't do anything. That's what's cool. We'll pass around some samples of that. So, the point is that if you have a serger that's in a closet, you at one time bought it for a reason. You thought that you would use the functions, but it wasn't easy. It isn't easy. So you're not using it, so it's a waste. My job is to get rid of every closet serger. I want you to take your serger out of the closet, and I will give you $1,000 back. Now, what's different about this compared to others, we have a program right now where we have what's called I Want It All. And we still have that. But I decided for Text Party to do something different. To offer